Now, in the previous episode, things started off well, but then began to go to pot. Rather like the focus on this camera. And we saw that the fuselage was twisted and bent. And that was going to cause an awful lot of problems. I was going to have, this is why I'm focusing on this picture like this, I was going to have the undercarriage down due to nostalgic reasons and the fact that as a kid I managed to get the undercarriage to go up and down. That meant it was also worth having all the bomb bays open so you could have all the trolleys and the rather nice little tractor sort of sitting there. But it strikes me that the bomb bays, well, they're not going to fit really, are they, because of the banana ring. And if I have the undercarriage down, then due to the twist, it's going to emphasise the fact that the whole thing is twisted. So going back to the old, it's disappointing, isn't it, when you plan to have the undercarriage down. So I'm going to go back to my usual methods, my usual style, and that is to have the undercarriage up. I think the aircraft looks fantastic, and it must have looked incredible in flight, so that's not too much of a problem, but change of tack. You get, in particular on the bomb bays, you get a single piece which represents the closed pair of bomb bays. And so I'm going to put that in. I have tried, and due to the banana ring, it's not really going to fit very well. So this is going to slow the whole process down and going to use up an awful lot of sellotape. If you happen to be a tape manufacturer, your shares are about to go up. I did say I did say the underside was okay in comparison to the top. But over time, that isn't the case, and the glue, once dry, has started to fracture under pressure, which I find if I don't put gallons of glue on, therein lies a lesson, doesn't it? Anyway, here is the tail end of the aircraft, and here is the tail end of the bomb bays. Realised I was saying it like a place in India, which I don't want to upset or confuse anybody. Look at the gap on the right hand side. That's because the bits of the fuselage don't line up for a start, and secondly because of the banana-esque twist. I think you can see that. We discussed that previously in episode 1, which means the same is happening at this end. Now I haven't done any gluing, so obviously there's a little bit of slippage and looseness. We will worry about this later. But you can also see, I daren't let go and shift my thumb, you can also see that the bay juts out on this side. You can see the unpainted plastic, and so the fuselage juts out on this side, hence the unpainted plastic. This is going to be a barrel of laughs, isn't it? You can probably hear the gentle sounds of the new tumble dryer in the background. The old one broke down, along with, oh, it's just stopped, along with both cars and the dishwasher, all within about the same week. No surprise that I've been occupied elsewhere. Anyway, frustratingly, this has just sagged, this wing, but initially it clipped in perfectly and there was barely a seam. It's dropped now. It's frustrating because it's dropped and I can't show you that, and it's frustrating because everything else isn't fitting, and that fitted perfectly. Oh hello, my tape's coming apart and all. So, well, you know, I am going to persevere with this one because I think there are ways around some of the problems, not all, particularly if we haven't got the wheels down. And it's put this in a whole new league now, and I think I may have another plan, so we'll see how that goes in the near future. It's very irritating as well because I got parts of the undercarriage gear glued up. There's one little section, a few other bits as well, so I was halfway through building those. Never mind. Now, just a brief update. I've done a little more really than get the wings on and blend a bit of green colouring in. And it's been about 3 days since I glued the wings on, and that one has come loose. So a bit of a job for, I think, Araldite. Super glue certainly won't do it. And that means, well, let's move on to what we'll do now. I think paint, and then start drawing the basic construction to a close. At which point we can move on to other more interesting things to do with this one. And I'm not talking about fireworks. I'm talking about paintwork. Oh, that went well, didn't it? Good wordplay. So, just a brief update on this limping tragedy, but we'll see what happens next.